Hello, and this is Dr. Corey King from AskDrKing.com. Today we're going to be discussing why thyroid patients who are on their medication are still having energy loss. And recently I put a poll on one of the thyroid support groups that I'm a member of on Facebook. This was the overwhelming question that everybody wanted to have an answer to. So we're going to discuss today why your energy can still be low even though you're on your thyroid medication. One of the first things that I look at on all of my patients when I consult with them, and granted, I've got patients from all over the country, all over the world, because we work with them remotely. When I look at their blood work, one, I'm looking to see have their doctors ran adequate thyroid markers. Because one of the big problems, thyroid patients a lot of times are being managed strictly by looking at TSH. And that is such an outdated model when it comes to working with thyroid patients. You need to have all of your thyroid markers checked. So I will put a link in the description below the video that you can click on. It'll just take you to one of my blogs, and at the bottom you can download all of the markers that I run on every single patient. And you can ask your doctor, hey doctor, run these 67 markers on me. It's going to have your 10 thyroid markers along with a host of all these other markers that you need to look at in order to understand what could be causing your thyroid condition to, one, not improve, two, it could be getting worse, or even three, just diagnosing you properly. So we look to see, is the body actually converting thyroid hormone properly? So you have what's called T4 hormone. It is the inactive thyroid hormone. It must get converted to what is called T3. So think 3, that's the one that we want. We want T3 to go inside of your body's cell. So if we don't get the T3 into the cell, then you cannot produce energy, you cannot run your metabolism, so weight gain is going to be an issue, weight loss is going to be an issue, your libido can suffer, your hair can fall out, you can have depression and anxiety, all because you're not getting your T3 hormone into your cells. One of the biggest culprits of this is your liver. It converts 60% of your thyroid hormone into that T3. On top of your liver, you also have your gastrointestinal lining, so your gut. So if we're thinking, okay, how's the gut doing? It helps to convert another 20%. So between your liver and your gut, that is 80% of thyroid hormone conversion and utilization right there. Why would the liver not be doing its job? Well, let's say my average patient is 43 years old, typically female, and my 43-year-old patient, I'll ask them, hey, Mrs. Smith, when have you detoxified your liver? And she goes, well, what do you mean? And I go, well, have you ever done any liver detoxes or liver flushes? And a lot of times the answer is no. Well, your liver is just, we're going to use the analogy of the lint filter in your dryer. If you do not clean the lint filter from your dryer, you know what happens. The dryer just can't dry your clothes properly. Your liver is your big filter in your body. Its job is to filter out toxins, medications, exogenous hormones, and it helps to purify your blood, clean it out. So over the years, it starts to get clogged up. You know, if you go and change your oil in your car, but you never change the oil filter, that's still going to become an issue down the road. So we always look at the liver and we want to start talking about flushing the liver out. And there's many, many liver flushes out there. The flush that I put my patients on takes about 3 weeks to go through. I do a lot of preparation work with the patient. The second is the gut. If your gut lining is not doing well, meaning if it's not absorbing, if it's not breaking down your foods, not excreting waste, it's going to have a problem helping to convert and utilize your thyroid hormone. So we always look right at conversion issues first. Second, we want to look at what medication a patient is on. Some patients are on T4 hormone, which is fine if they need it. That's, for example, that's levothyroxine. So if a patient is on levothyroxine, but their T3 levels are low, it gets a little confusing, and their T3 levels are low, that levothyroxine is not helping to contribute to the T3 if the body can't convert the T4 to the T3. So you got to take the T4, you got to convert it to T3, then the T3 has to go into the cell. So they're giving you levothyroxine, which is T4, and they're giving it to you, and your energy is still down. And then you consult with me, and we go, oh my gosh, look at your T3 levels. They're way down here. They're super, super low. And then if your T3 is really low, you obviously can't get enough into the cells to provide enough energy to the body. So if you're on the wrong medication, that's going to be a big problem. A lot of thyroid patients still to this day, they're only being managed by looking at TSH. And it is freaking mind-boggling when a patient contacts me and they go, hey, Dr. King, it's been 15 years that I've been a thyroid patient, and I've been on medication all this time, and I'm not feeling well. And we look at their past history of their blood test, and it's TSH, and T4. It's almost infuriating. I'm at a loss for words, because unfortunately, most of the Western doctors out there are endocrinologists and are primary care physicians. So it could be underutilization due to underconversion. It could be the wrong medication. And then we can also have things like infections, bacterial infections, viral infections. My God, a viral infection is going to sap your energy so quickly. And if you do not believe me, I'll give you my personal cell phone number. I'll let you talk to my better half, Natasha, who had battled Epstein-Barr virus, and that is what turned her Hashimoto's on. You get a virus like Epstein-Barr, you can't even walk up your stairs without feeling like you ran a 5K. So viruses can do that. Parasitic infections. Parasites are notorious for sucking up your vitamin D, as in dog. It happened to myself. If your vitamin D goes down, your energy is going to go down with it. You need vitamin D to help support your immune system, to make your hormones, and to make you feel well. If your vitamin D is low due to a parasitic infection, you got to kill off the critters. Food sensitivities are another one. You eat some foods that your body is reacting to, and it creates all this inflammation. That inflammation is going to make you feel like junk. If your body's ever been inflamed to the point where you have brain fog, you know how brain fog makes you feel. Well, imagine brain fog essentially throughout the rest of the body. That's what inflammation does. So if you're eating inflammatory foods that you have allergies to, it can make you feel like junk. And some people they refuse to stop eating these inflammatory foods. And if that is you, I am sorry, nobody's going to be able to help you, because that's going to create inflammation of the gut. When the gut becomes inflamed, you start to develop leaky gut syndrome. That creates a lot of other inflammatory cascades in the body. That gets carried to the heart, gets carried to the brain. Organs start shutting down, and you feel like poo-poo. All right, so we've got underconversion, underutilization of your thyroid hormones. You may be on the wrong thyroid medication, and if your doctors are not checking the right thyroid markers, they are never going to know. Essentially, you're never going to know, and your condition is being managed the incorrect way. We can have infections, so bacterial infections, viral infections, parasitic infections. We can have food sensitivities or allergies, and the last one I'm going to discuss is blood sugar. Blood sugar is the number one stressor in the body. Not food allergies, blood sugar. Because if your blood sugar crashes throughout the day, your adrenal glands are going to kick in with more cortisol to help raise your glucose in your body. More cortisol equals more inflammation, which is going to create this whole cascade of events that we just went through with inflammation. So if your blood sugar goes, your energy is going to go, because essentially glucose is like the fuel that you're putting into your car. And if a woman who's trying to lose weight, or a male, I just typically consult with more women, I'm sorry males, but my father's a thyroid patient as well. If you are eating breakfast, and maybe it's a small breakfast because maybe you don't have an appetite when you wake up, which happens to a lot of thyroid patients, and then you don't eat until dinner time, and you've got this 6, 8, 10 hours of in between where your blood sugar is going, you're going to become hangry, meaning hungry and angry, but you're going to set off this inflammatory cascade of inflammation. One of the big goals when I work with a patient is to get inflammation down. If you cannot get inflammation down, the patient is never going to feel better. So you got to figure out what's causing it. If your blood sugar is doing this throughout the day, diabetics, for example, they just can't get better if they can't stabilize their blood sugar. So that is going to be another big issue when it comes to energy. So you've got to have consistent fuel being supplied to the body. Not only the body, but the brain uses more glucose than any other organ in the body. So if your blood sugar is low, that means your brain is not getting enough fuel. And if your brain can't get enough fuel, brain fog, lack of focus, concentration, short-term memory issues, all the above. Alrighty, so we pretty much covered the big priorities that I look at on every patient when they tell me, hey doc, I'm on medication, but my energy is just... To learn more, make sure to visit our website at AskDrKing.com. We put a ton of great recipes on our Instagram account, AskDrKing. More YouTube videos on AskDrKing, as well as our Facebook page. So make sure to watch our videos, check out some of our recipes, share some recipes with us and other patients as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys on our next video.